In 2019, Tony Angelo and I went to Hot Rod Drag Week in my 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air that we call Blasphemi. We took 2 years off, and in 2022, we tried to go again, and it didn't work out too well. You guys have seen some of the clips on YouTube. You've seen some of them on Instagram, but you didn't see the whole story. And now, in a special 2-part episode of Finnegan's Garage, with over 5 hours of footage, we're going to show you everything that happened at Drag Week this year. Thanks for watching.
904. Finnegan just locked it up. He is your winner for A gas at the 15th annual Hot Rod Magazine Drag Week. 154 miles an hour out the back. Look at 10. Tony Angelo on the starting line, losing his...
Why am I looking at the piston, son? I'm not putting a piston in this thing.
I just thought it was bad luck if I didn't bring it.
We get this far inside the motor, man. I'm going home.
Things are going about as well as they always have. Our new wheels are not round, so we're scrambling to find new wheels that are round. Registration closes in like 5 minutes, so we need to be on the other side of that fence the next 5 minutes with the trailer hooked up and all my racing gear ready to be inspected so that we can officially enter. And right now, I can't find the binder with all the registration info for my car. That's gone missing. So, mild bit of panic of maybe losing the shop. Not there, not there.
We need that registration for tech?
Yeah, like NHRA license, everything.
Got it.
Everything's gone, missing.
Seems important. We're gonna be the fastest support vehicle here in about an hour. Feel like this kind of happens every time, but we're definitely not on point quite yet. We have 11 minutes till tech closes. Our wheels are squares. We don't have any paperwork. And the car's totally untested, so I give our chances a whimsical out of 10. I hope we get to go on Drag Week. I do.
Hey, let's just go get in line. Now I gotta figure out what to do about the fact that we're missing all the paperwork. I had technically have the stuff in emails.
It's a manually wound.
Whether they will
I
accept
mean,
it.
get it up there.
It's fine.
You know. Got a small, teeny, tiny little. All of my paperwork is digital.
No, you're fine.
Not a problem.
Thank God.
I got everything.
Okay. We are officially in the tech line for Hot Rod Drag Week 2022. This is Keith Turk. He is in charge of this whole thing with his lovely wife, Tanya. And basically, I need to beg, borrow, steal, bribe this man to make the line go faster. Because I'd like to test today.
That isn't his actual problem. His actual problem is that he was here at 1:06.
No.
I know he was on the property, though, and that's actually what the rule says is on the property.
I was through that
We're
gate.
good.
Yep.
You didn't specify which gate. I was through that gate.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
There was a gate. I was through it. I feel good about myself.
I happen to know he's been here since 10, so whatever.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Oh, yeah, the line's moving.
Line's moving. Yeah. Line's moving.
I hate to be the guy.
There's nobody behind you to worry about.
I'd hate to hold up the end of the line
Since
here.
we're dead last, yeah.
I hate to be that guy. All right, we made it. We're officially in line for tech inspection. A little bit of drama so far today. Our brand new wheels, they're not round, so we're now making frantic phone calls trying to find wheels for the car, front and back. The binder, which was behind my seat, that had all of our paperwork, like everything, all my notes on how I wired the car, tuning notes, shock settings, instructions for every part that's in the car, that went missing. I don't know where that went, but that's gone. And the car has changed a lot, so the notes would have been helpful. Like, this is a new Hemi. Everything about it has changed except for the cylinder heads and the supercharger and the throttle body. Everything else is different. We have new Viking shocks all the way around that are triple adjustable. I've never ran on them before. A new G-Force 6-speed manual gearbox to replace the old 5-speed. As a result of putting the 6-speed in, the rear end had to get set up with new gears, so we went from a 325 rear gear to a 430. Basically everything is different. So I've driven the car around the block once at my house. It went to Pete at Harrell Engine and Dyno in Mooresville to get chassis dynoed. The car has not been down the highway since, has not been down a drag strip in 2 years. If we get through tech inspection today and somehow manage to solve our wheel problem, there is a test and tune tonight that we could make some licks on, which would be great because tomorrow morning drag week starts. It gets serious after that. How do you feel?
I feel good. You keep saying we made it. We haven't made anything yet. We're just in line.
That feels like victory to me.
You're like, we made it. I'm like, we're just getting started.
Yeah, this is something.
Yeah.
It's just baby steps, little goals. Oh, line's moving. See, we've made it.
That's something.
We're going.
We made it.
All right. We made it. It'd be a miracle if they let us in.
I know. If they let us in, then I'll be like, we made it. We can push it, too.
We pushed it last time.
Yeah.
Let's not push it.
All right.
Let's save our...
Part of the break-in. I like it.
Save our energy. I feel like we're going to need it.
Whew.
Got his tail light out.
Thank you. Yeah, you got one light on the trailer, one light on the car.
So with this thing, every time you fire it up, for some reason with the LEDs, you got to reset it, left, right, left, and now everything should work. So let's make sure, since that's part of tech, is that the lights work. Let's check the horn. Horn lights. All right.
Is it inside the car?
No, it's under the car.
I heard it in my ear, like in the back.
All I did was blow up the Hemi and ignore the car for 2 years. I don't know why these things are.
I don't either, man. That's the best thing to do with race cars is just park it and expect it to work when you pick it up 2 years later.
I mean, it's good for your mentals.
That's how it goes.
That's the horn.
It says taillights.
Yeah, that's old.
Got it.
It's now the horn.
All right. Headlights, you got anything?
Nope.
Okay. Left signal.
Nope. Let's just bypass the box.
Bypass it, but we can't have both taillights and brake lights unofficially. So pick which one you like better. I would pick the taillights.
We'll turn on the hazards.
I'd take the taillights.
We'll turn on the hazards.
Yeah.
This is not working. So we're just cutting around it.
Just losing a little weight. It's lightening it up.
All right.
But I needed that 4 ounces anyway.
So do you want turn signals and just flash them real fast when you got to slow down, or do you want brake lights?
I would skip the brake light. I mean, we're driving at night. How much night driving are we doing? I would go taillights. I mean, they're not gonna miss us.
The optimist in me is saying, we won't be on the road in dark. But
He sent us a list other times. I was like, I can't wait to be there for 2 hours between 4 and 6 a.m.
I'm just gonna twist these together so we can do a full test. Taillights are fixed. Horn
right?
works. We are ready to go through tech, which is good because I think there's only like 4 cars ahead of us now. It's perfect timing. Good. We have passed the drag and drive checklist, which is registration, VIN number, a horn, headlights, taillights, turn signals, brake lights. We have done all that. This is indeed a street car. Now, NHRA Tech Is that you?
Make sure that you are in the right class.
Oh, yeah.
Are you in the right class?
God, I hope so. It's the only one this thing's legal for.
That's the only thing we go around and say, are you in the right class?
Good to see you again.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, dude, I'm great.
Good.
I'm
Good
great.
to see you back here.
I'm stoked to drive the car again.
I bet you are.
I really am.
You put a lot of effort into it.
So we're racing A gas, right? And that is a class that's one of the few at Drag Week that is subjective, meaning it has to look like an A gas car. And what is a gas car? It is a gas class car based on an NHRA class from the late 60s that when tire technology wasn't what it was today, a lot of guys resorted to extreme measures to make the cars whole shot. They would move weight to the back of the car. They would raise the front of the car up higher than the back to transfer weight back to the car. They would take their A-arm front end off and put in a tube axle out of a van to make the front end lighter. They would alter the wheelbase of these things and move the rear axle forward. They did a whole lot of things that made it look like a gasser. And so, yes, you can have A-arms. If you do at Drag Week and you have A-arms on the front end of your car, the nose of the car has to be up. But if you have a tube axle like mine, the car can basically sit level, but it needs to look like a period correct gasser, which means
Don't forget blower.
no billet wheels.
Blower makes it an A-gas car.
Blower makes it an A-gas car, yeah. So at Drag Week, there's two gas classes. There's A-gas and B-gas. In A-gas, it's the more liberal class. You can run a supercharger like I run. You can have a tube chassis like I run. Your firewall can be moved like I run. B-gas, it's more of a stock type deal. But in the end, it needs to look like a gasser. You can't have modern billet wheels. You can't run nitrous. You can't run turbos. This is a gasser. This is kind of what it needs to look like. You can't drive a muscle car, basically. So
Yeah, and does it need to have this live act? Like,
No.
gassers back in the day didn't have live act. All of them didn't have live act.
no, you can have A-arms,
Yeah.
but it needs to
Gotta
look
have
like
that
this.
kick.
You gotta
Yeah.
have that kick, you know, you have that gangster lean.
But the gas meant the fuel was running.
Yeah.
That's originally, and then
Yeah.
the style came after.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we're going through our NHRA tech inspection. So he's making sure my racing harnesses have not expired. He's making sure my window net has not expired. He's making sure I have an NHRA competition driver's license. And the way you get one of those is you make passes at a track with other NHRA competition drivers watching you to make sure you have control of the car.
I told him to put AC on it, but he didn't.
Go, you converted them.
He's-
After the whole
he's-
transmission episode from 19, you gotta hook him up,
Oh man.
right?
I thought about it, but then I was like, make the car heavier. And at one point he might have to lift the whole car, you know?
He can do it.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. All right, that is it. It is official. We are in. I just have to go up front, sign a few more papers, and Drag Week begins. There we go. Bubble bubble. And the tire falls over. It just sits there perfectly level.
Now let me turn that around.
And the same thing with my rears. My rears you can't put on there without it falling over. But for whatever reason, they were able to stick enough weight on this that if you flip it upside down, it will mostly stay level, which is great. But if you flip it over, it falls over. Dude, I don't understand. I don't know. So this is my old wheel. And same tire, but doesn't fall over. Shout out to the good homies at Mickey Thompson Tires for jumping through a lot of hoops here today to make sure we had round wheels and tires together. So we've now gone back to my old wheels. And same tire, old wheel, sits flat on the machine, which is nice, which means it's balanced. This is called static balancing.
It's the wheel for sure. It's here. Somewhere it's leaking.
So a lot of people ask me for advice on how to be successful at a drag and drive event, and I'm really good at giving it, and I just can't seem to follow it. And piece of advice number one is to build your car, test drive your car well in advance of the event. Like how you're going to drive it down the road. Wheels, tires, if you're pulling a trailer, put the trailer on, drive it around, make sure it doesn't overheat. Make sure your wheels are round. Make sure the valve stems don't leak. Just make sure you have lug nuts to hold the things on. These are all things we don't have today. And we're lucky in that today is registration day and test and tune day. We're also unlucky in that we'd like to be making a pass right now to find out if the car I haven't driven in 2 years even goes straight and is safe to go down the drag strip. But we are now on our second pair of rear wheels that are round. They balanced. I feel great about them, but the valve stems are leaking. So now we got to go back to Mickey Thompson Tires and talk to those guys about
what they have,
what they've got for a valve stem to put in here that'll hold air, because the ones that are in these wheels are not going to work. And yes, I'm bummed that our daisies are not going to be on the car for this trip because they looked really cool, but we just could not get these tires on those wheels to balance, which is a bummer. And when you watch the dyno video of this car being tested at Pete's, the rear wheels were just shaking to the point where I thought the quarter panels were going to fall off the car. So we're back to my old set of wheels because they work, and as soon as we get the air leak fixed, we'll put them on the car, and then we'll go try to suit up and make a hit here. So one of the cooler things about this car that Newbern and I did was we made 2 fuel cells. One of them on the left side of the car under the floor that holds 16 gallons of pump gas, and that you fill through the stock fuel door in the quarter panel. And then another one that's on this side under the floor, it holds 4 gallons of race fuel. And we run E85 fuel in this because the ethanol content in the fuel will actually lower the air inlet temperature of the air going into the engine once it leaves the supercharger. So as the supercharger compresses air and forces, boost into the motor, it heats the air up. And so we spin the blower over really, really fast to make whatever boost we can. That air gets really hot, but the fuel we burn cools it off, which allows us to run as much boost as we run. And so what we do in our routine every day is get to the track and disconnect the fuel lines from the motor to a fuel pump for the pump gas and switch it over to a fuel pump in the other fuel cell for the race gas. And then at the end of the day, when it's time to leave, we switch the fuel lines back, switch the tune in the computer, and drive down the road on pump gas.
Dude, drag week starts now. First pass, test and tune the day before the official start. And for us, it's a big deal because we got so many unknowns. Is this thing gonna do anything good? New trans, new motor, new tune, newest shocks, and we fought with the wheels and tires all day. We'll see what happens. If this goes bad, it's gonna be rough. But if it's like, back to normal, it's gonna feel real good. It's been 2 years since I've driven the car. I know I've said that a lot, but that's what's on my mind right now. I gotta be honest, I'm intimidated. It makes pretty much the same power, maybe a little more than it made before, but it has a ton more gear in the rear end, different gears in the trans, like everything's different, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm itching to find out, so let's go. This is important. If it can go all the way down the track and run a mid-8, that's good news, and if it doesn't, well, we'll be making a lot of passes tomorrow during first day of drag week. Just give me like a mid-5 in the 8th, dude, and then let's go to sleep. Oh, that would be awesome. AFR is reading like 8.
E85.
Okay, that still seems low, man.
E5.
That is still pushing it. Yeah, it works.
Throttle stuck.
Stuck?
I'm not going out there with it sticking.
I see something here is getting weird.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. That should not move separate to that. That should not move. That's our problem. Okay, we need an Allen.
Did it cam over?
No, the return spring is slipping. We need that. All right, we need an Allen wrench. Okay. I was just a little paranoid. because I hadn't driven the car in a long time, and I thought, let me put it on the two-step, make sure it even works. And then when I did, which is basically me putting my foot to the floor going wide open, a rev limiter turns on, and then I took my foot off the pedal, and it wouldn't return to idle. It was stuck wide open, so I killed the ignition, and we just realized our return spring is loose and isn't holding it, so.
Cool, so it's just first day jitters here at Adult Summer Camp / Drag Week 22. But we're gonna make some, I don't wanna go back to the pits. I would like to get this thing down the track so we know where we stand for the rest of the week. So we're gonna make a couple moves and try to get it done. I would like to run this car.
Come on, baby. Stuck again.
Stuck! Hell yeah.
It just went back, dude.
What'd you say?
It just flipped back just now. It is unhappy. Stuck wide open again.
Let's get rid of that thing and shorten the spring. You saw it move? Like stick?
Yeah. I shut it off and I was sitting there and all of a sudden it went think. I was looking through the back of the scoop. Let's just take the spring off, leave that thing on there for now.
Okay. And go to the other bar?
Shorten the spring, go to the other bar.
All right, we'll try to pull that. I don't know, man.
That wasn't it, was it?
I don't know what
we
it's
need more
doing.
attention, don't we?
Think.
Yeah, see, now watch. When I go wide open, it's not going to get caught on top of that thing anymore.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. We need another one of those. Another carb spring.
All right, but I'm gonna bend this around here.
Where's that other?
I got it. I'm gonna put it on here and see what it does.
There we go.
Wide open.
Yep. And it can't hang on anything. All right, we're good. Woo! We're good. So it has 2 return springs. It needs a ton of return spring because when the blower is sucking, it's pulling on the butterflies, and when they're wide open, they're not straight up and down, they're kind of at an angle. And so it's pulling on the back side of those throttle blades and trying to keep it open. You lift off the throttle, it stays. Well, that's the normal problem. That's how you end up with so many return springs on it. That's not our problem with it sticking wide open. Our problem was that we went to put the car back together. I found one of our proper return springs, but not the other. So I just grabbed one out of the box, threw it on there, and it's a different style of spring. And what was happening is when the linkage went wide open, the spring was going over the top of it and getting stuck and holding it there. So we flip-flopped them, moved them, and I think we're good now. I think now we can go race our car. Push it out.
Doesn't sound good. What's up?
Just push it out. It won't run right.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. There's something up with the tune. It wouldn't even rev to do a burnout. So we're going to go take it over to the pit and plug into it and try to see what's going on. I just realized something.
What?
This was never tuned with the air filter on it.
I think take it off. I'm saying new plugs and air filter out as a start.
Probably the cam. How's your train wreck compared to my train wreck? Mine's on fire down the hill. Can you top that off?
It's been worse. But I didn't travel halfway around the world
No.
to destroy a camshaft on day one.
No. And the worst thing is we've heard this noise all week, and here we are. But no one could diagnose it. I even had Steve Morris check it out today. He goes, I'm not sure what that is. When Steve Morris doesn't know what it is, you know you've got problems.
He's an expert.
Well, I would have thought.
Yeah.
But if I give him 120K, he'd fix it with an SMX, but I'm running a little short. Anyway,
That's a lot of money.
how's your day going?
Oh, well, we've had the throttle stick wide open. The car won't do a burnout. We haven't made a pass yet.
Boats seem pretty good right now.
Yeah, like, boats are a lot of fun. They're too far away, though.
We need to
But
sort that deal out.
the good news is, though, there's a gentleman over here with a lift, a shop, and most of the parts you need, so...
It'll be all the wrong parts, I'll be second-hand, and it'll just make it worse when you do that. But it does have parts, so it's a start.
Yeah, because we're not out yet.
Nah, we haven't started yet.
Yeah, and you're a long way from home, so you might as well stay up all night and fix it.
Yeah, because I've had too much sleep a week already, so. All right, let's fix stuff.
Let's fix stuff.
All right, before the track lady wants to kick us out as well. It's going to go well.
I didn't actually hear that from her, so it's like it never
she's
happened.
Yeah, okay. Break.
All right.
Nah, we found it.
I want to take this off, I think. And I want to play with that linkage.
Sure.
I don't think we have to mess with this. I am going to reset the TPS.
Yeah.
Take this off. Yeah, I still don't
It's
like
stuck
the way
in the pits again, or in the... Yeah, I
still
fired it up.
slides down.
And
this is catching. I guess if I bend this up, I might like it. But look, see the way it's
that needs
there?
that needs to be fixed because. And the other thing is the first 20%, it's stiff as hell, and then it clicks.
Yeah,
like
that might be some of this.
There's something.
Wait, can you feel it here? No, it might be in the actual pedal. This feels incredible.
Oh, you know what?
It's in the pedal, dude.
Hold on.
Some's in the pedal.
Hold on.
So what's happening is it's getting all the way to center, and you're essentially going like this.
Yeah, we're trying to. Yeah,
it's like busting it down. So if you bend it like this, that it was already ready to roll, it might be happier, but I don't know if you're getting enough stroke out of it.
Yeah, so if you were to bend this right here at more of a more down.
You got
But
you got this and this, and
would we
they're
have enough
getting
resolution
stuck.
if we did
But it's like fighting it, and then it breaks free finally. I mean, honestly, you could take the pedal off, and we can just like put a piece of rubber on that thing and step.
I could step on the stick.
You can step on.
We
the
drove
stick.
with this thing for 4 years on a stick.
Yeah, it worked fine.
All right, let's take the pedal off.
Or you could like zip tie the rubber pedal to the stick or something.
Pull the pedal off real quick and just try it with just
Yeah,
see what it's
I drove it for years with no pedal. It was just a stick. We can do that again.
It's not gonna be all fancy aluminum like that, but we'll get something.
It's so much better now.
All right, well, I'm taking this off.
Hey, let's open up the throttle body.
Base throttle position. So it's like idle throttle position. Your throttle body can close all the way, and then there are these little set screws that you open just to crack it just enough to get enough air in to have a steady idle where you want it. And depending on engine, camshaft, the whole build, there's like a million variables. It's going to dictate how much you need to crack that open to make it happy. So there's like a bunch of adjustability, and we're just trying to dial that in.
Yeah, right now it doesn't want to start or idle because it doesn't have any air available to it. So we're trying to open it more to give it air so it'll run. That's much happier.
Hell yeah.
We should
This
drive
sounds great.
drive around the pit and just wood it and just see what happens. All right, throttle stuck again. That's not good. Throttle stuck wide open again.
No.
Yeah. Wide open.
What?
On the two-step. Like, I didn't go wide open when I goosed it over there. It was fine, but when I went wide open on the two-step, it stuck wide open and I had to shut it off. And then it wouldn't start again because the throttle was still stuck wide open. We just need to go to a parts store and find another one of those tomorrow.
We're not gonna have time at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, we won't run right away. To be honest, it doesn't matter when we run tomorrow as long as we run, you know?
I know.
And a good run. And until this stops sticking, we're not going to make a good run. So we need another one of those springs. O'Reilly's carries them. I feel pretty good. I mean, I just took it for a test drive. It ran much better. Throttle did stick wide open again when I put it on the two-step to hole shot it, but I think that's because we have the wrong spring on here. So we'll go to a parts store tomorrow, get a proper return spring, then it should be good. And it sounds happier. The gas pedal works way better.
Sounds way smoother. It starts up at idles. It rolls in the throttle.
The gas stick.
The gas stick.
The gas stick works way
stick's what
better
you
than the
want.
gas pedal.
Yeah,
So
forget that gas pedal. You need a gas stick.
yeah, so we're gonna call it a night, find a part in the morning, and then see what she does at Drag Week tomorrow on day one.
Yeah, I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
I'd have felt much better if we got a nice pass in, but it's something.
Yeah. Tomorrow's our day. Let's close it up.
How many new people do we have at Drag Week this year? Put a big hand. All right, welcome to Drag Week, guys.
Let's turn in a time slip before you leave the track. The time slip that you turn in is your pick of your time slip. Turn in your best one. It's not our responsibility. You only get to turn in one. We want everybody to have the same drive experience. It's called Drag Week. It's a torture test.
Driver's meeting's over. Now we go back to the pit, and we have 30 minutes to get rid of our tow rig and park it in impound over there. Because one of the unique things about doing these events is you have no support when you're on the road. It's just you against the road. Nobody can follow you. You can't tow your car. If you break down, you got to fix it. So the roadkill ramp truck needs to disappear. I won't see it until this is over. And I need to unload things right now. This is official day one, Hot Rod Drag Week 2022. We're at Worldwide Technology Raceway in Madison, Illinois. Awesome track. Used to be called Gateway. Fun fact, the very first time I nuked a Hemi was right here in the burnout box. Dropped the valve, destroyed the whole thing. That's not gonna happen today. It's gonna be better.
Welcome to Hot Rod Magazine Drag Week 2022. It is going to be a fantastic 5 days of drag racing action. All starts here on Monday at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Everybody in this place thinks they have a shot to win and certainly thinks they have a shot to finish, but not everybody's going to make it.
It's open way too far, dude.
They're closed, dog. We got something going on here. They're closed.
What?
You got a big leak somewhere? Something's going on. It blew this out.
Oh, okay. We'll turn the battery off. We're gonna be a while. We're missing first round. Now we're at Drag Week.
Yeah, we are.
We can only screw up 6 more times.
So we got a blown burst panel, and it burst. Just sitting here on the two-step. Finnegan thought the throttle was sticking open, but in reality, some kind of intake pressure, when it's super overboosted, it literally blows these expendable plates out. These are made out of thin sheet metal, and at a prescribed overboost, they literally blow out so that pressure doesn't go through your motor and wreck, rods, bearings, pistons, everything. So we had some kind of issue with, on the two-step, a ton of pressure blew this out, which once you're off of boost and it's working as vacuum, it feels like the throttle's cracked. So I had the throttle turn all the way down. He started up and went right to red line because this thing's letting in so much air. So we know it's busted. What we're gonna do is put this thing in and try to stay off the two-step and just get a good run in, because we're wasting time already. All right,
Is yours fixed?
I think that's on.
Yeah.
Did you make to go?
603.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Hell yeah, dude.
Not for me. I'll turn it in.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
hit the
get
road.
out. Be smart. Leave.
Yeah.
Almost kicked for 2 days in a row, so I'll take that.
Hell yeah, good work, man.
Dude.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, now ball end.
Of course, that one's gonna be the tightest one.
There we go. No pressure, but we don't have a single spare screw.
Well,
So-
there's 80 of them in there. I bet 79 will get the job done.
You have the perfect shirt on for that.
You like that?
Exactly. Where can you get that shirt?
You can get this shirt. You go to my Stay Tuned YouTube channel and click the link. You can get my We're Gonna Lose the Shop shirt. Or go to my Instagram, Tangelo96, and click the link.
It's not sticking.
I saw it.
We're good.
All right, let's pull it on.
Woo. Okay. Can you tell me if both fans are on right now? It's saying they're both on right now.
All right, check fuses.
Okay, so throttle's no longer sticking wide open. We've turned the two-step off. Everything's great. None of our electric fans are running right now, so the engine's now getting hot. So that's the next thing we're going to look at.
All right.
This is Drag Week. It will find all your weaknesses. It will find everything you haven't prepared for. If you don't test before you show up, this is what happens. And it's not that we didn't want to test, we just couldn't. So we're testing now. Yep, that's blown. Okay.
All right, you got 2 fans.
2 fans.
There you go.
All right. So we made a lot of wholesale changes to the throttle system. We've turned off the two-step. We're gonna go get in line.
This is an all-run session. We missed our earlier class call, so now everyone on the property can run, so we're trying to be first in line for that. That way, if the first pass doesn't go well, we can try to fix things and get back in line again before the lanes close at 2 o'clock. Right now, it's almost 12. Yeah, we haven't even left the first track yet.
We've spent so much time and money and work, time away from our businesses, our family, to be here.
Did you reclock it and it's good now?
He knows how to do it though.
Oh, so you just got to do it.
I figured it out, but Jared's like, no, don't touch it. But we're calling it quits. So how do you? We need to hype him up. I need your help.
All right. I mean, I'll go help you do it, man. Once we make a pass, I'll go work on it.
We'll go there and help you work on it. That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll go make a leg. We'll come over and we'll help you guys put it back together. Let's just distract him and get him out of there and fix it.
I just started working at it, and then he stopped me. I'm like, no, I don't care.
I imagine they're going to prep again.
Okay.
Because they usually do between run sessions, but like these are like the last cars of the group, and it's going to you.
Let's go. I'm going to suit up then. All right. I know I've said this before, but let's go make our first pass.
Yes, we are. I mean, this is really getting that final push. About an hour and 10 minutes, going to be closing the staging lanes. And once that happens, if you're in, you're in, make your run. If you're not, packing trails to you, make sure you come up and get your stuff.
All right, baby. Let's go make some noise.
Maybe just flip of the Rebel and it goes 9:56, 4:140.
Alright, shut up. Alright, that was not a great pass. But I think it's in one piece. My trunk open? I saw something in the rearview mirror. I don't know if it blew the burst pedal or not, but the motor's off. So let's go see what that's all about.
That's like a shakedown, so he held in it. I'll take it.
You guys blasted me last night when it stuck wide open.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little wild.
You're gonna go again?
I think so.
Good.
I'd like to see under, we get sub 9, some in the 8s.
There's oil everywhere. Oh man, I hope I didn't put that on the track.
He's at the top end of the track. He ran 140, so it seemed like it was running all right. Yeah, I just heard David screaming over the radio that Tony Angelo needs to go to the top of the track. Finnegan's stuck there.
For the last couple of weeks to get this car put back together after a testing accident.
I guess we're going to jog up the return road.
Jason, in front end was up.
See if we can't make it run. Okay, all right. Throttle blade's closed. That's all it is. All right, I can drive this back.
code 258 to the racetrack.
Thanks, buddy.
That is a
hello.
Place.
Thank you.
Yep.
86N. Ah, hell.
That's very close, but it's, you know, we know this incident, this race that we got.
So,
yeah. I just heard you. I just jogged a quarter mile.
Sorry.
All good.
Dude, it wouldn't start.
Okay.
And it's because those screws backed out.
Yeah.
On the throttle body, so it had no air.
Yeah.
The spark plug tubes are leaking. It shot oil out all over the firewall. I'm surprised there's not any on the track.
Okay. Ran 940, 140. I mean, I thought essentially for spinning at the beginning, you didn't get that deep in the burn. These are brand new slicks.
They ran out of gear on the top end too.
In fourth?
Yeah, we're out of gear.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to click it in fifth. We have a slip. I would love to fix the issues and go back up.
I agree. We got 50 minutes, 48 minutes.
All right, so let me pull the plugs on this side. Even if you have to wrap rags around the spark plug wires to keep the oil from
shove it in.
out, you know?
That's fine.
All right, so first run, car spun out of the hole. Might have gone left, I don't know.
You started going left a little bit.
Spun out of the hole. I short shifted the first 3 gears because shift light wasn't on. So I finally looked down at the tach and I ran it all the way to 7 grand when I clicked it into fourth. And then 200 feet before the finish line, we were out of gear in fourth and on the rev limiter. And when I came around the corner, the motor was off. And I'm like, oh God, we blew the burst panel again because it was on the rev limiter. So I tried to start it, and it wouldn't go. So I'm like, all right, burst panel's still in there. And I eyeballed the screws on here, and the throttle body was totally shut because the screws backed out. So we need to solve that problem. Our spark plug tubes are leaking.
Just on your side.
So just on this side. So we need to clean the oil up and maybe wrap rags around them, just enough to get one pass, because there's enough time for us to get back in line. And I can drive the car better, raise the rev limiter, and maybe click it in fifth if I have to.
I can put it in fifth.
You know,
you just got to do a bigger warm. But these are brand new slicks and stuff. You didn't really get too deep in that in the burnout. I'd like to see you do a little more there, and then, you know, that was really just a shakedown run. It's good. We'll take it. We'll take it. 9.4, whatever. Went all the way down the track.
Went all the way down.
Did you pack the parachute already?
I never used it. The track is really long.
Okay.
They're trying to save us.
Great. I love that.
Well, go again. I'll cut up a rag and tie it around those wires just in case, and then we'll roll with it.
I'd like to go a little harder and hit the road.
Yeah. Oh, I got to raise the rev limiter too. How much time do we got?
20 minutes.
Let's go put it in the lanes and do this in the lanes. Can you guys close the hood and I'll keep doing this?
The motor's smoking out some pipes here.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smells like gas, but
let's maybe not worry about getting in the lanes.
Yeah.
And find out why that's doing that. Here we go, drag me.
It's oil for sure.
Yeah. Head gasket.
Both of them?
Spark plug tubes.
Spark plug tubes, no. Vent valves, maybe. This thing happy to sit on the limiter?
I don't know.
Whatever it's doing on that side, it's doing on this side.
Let me get out of this and get comfortable because we're not making another pass today. Well, this is not the speech I wanted to give you, but we just fired it up to head of the lanes and it's smoking out of both pipes, which means there's oil in the pipes. So then you got to ask yourself, why is there oil in the combustion chamber in the pipes? Well, we just looked at the data file, and at the top of first gear, fuel pressure nosedived. At the top of second gear, it nosedived. It had virtually no fuel pressure in third and fourth gear because I believe our fuel pump's taking a crap. And we've pretty much smoked the rings out of this thing with no fuel pressure, or put a hole in the piston, whatever it is. It's, you know, it's done. We're done. There are no spare Hemi rings, pistons laying around. We're freaking out on day one. You know, it's probably my fault for letting this thing sit for 2 years. There was no fuel in the tank, but the pump, I don't know, maybe the pump's junk. Full tank of gas, no fuel pressure. We're done.
You put gas in this thing yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Filled it to the top. Open it up.
I did. There's no gas in it.
Filled all the way to the top last night, and all we did was full shot it. What?
There's nothing in there.
There's nothing in there.
It's like nothing. Something in it.
Where did it go anywhere?
I know. We drove it for 2 seconds. You filled it up, right?
Yeah, dude, it was filled to the cap, and all we did was try to do a burnout, which didn't happen.
You drove it up and down the lanes.
Is it leaking?
I don't know. There's nothing in it.
We didn't go anywhere.
There's nothing in it. You filled it to the top.
Yeah. Yeah, we drove to the lanes, tried to do a burnout, didn't work. Brought it back, parked it here all night, came out here this morning. We only made one pass.
I know. We didn't do anything.
It doesn't burn 5 gallons in a pass. The only thing I can think of is maybe the one cell is leaking into the other, and when it sat here all last night. But wouldn't this cell leak into that one? This one's bigger.
Is this one full of anything?
Yeah, this one has 16 gallons of pump gas in it.
How do you fill that? Here?
Yeah, it comes through the side.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get it. No, there's no way. Like, if it was leaking internally, this cell would be... This would have something in it. It would have pump gas in it. So it's not
filled
leaking.
it with gas?
Yeah, dude, it was all the way the hell up. I put a full 5 and what was left of another one in there.
We drove it like from here to there a couple times.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I just talked to him. He's like, it's physically impossible for that pump to pump 5 gallons through that motor in one pass. So where did the fuel go? And us farting around here on a 2-step and that loop I did right there, there's no way we burned.
When did you fill it? Yesterday morning?
No, when we went to the line.
When, today?
Yesterday.
Okay.
When we tried to make that pass, I filled it all the way up, like to the brim.
From here?
Yeah, this thing burns like 2 gallons a pass. Like, it's not much. So where the hell the other 3 gallons of fuel go? I'll give it 1 gallon for farting around here on the 2-step, but where'd the other 2 gallons of gas go? I didn't even think to check the fuel before we went up there because I was like, I filled it, you know?
Yeah, you were like, it's full. I'm like, all right, we're good. I should check that anyway. And there's nothing we can throw in there? Try to seal it up?
I mean, like I said, we can... I don't know how to stop the oil from going in the combustion chamber, you know? The pistons, either the rings are gone or the pistons have holes in them, you know? I don't know how to fix that. Right, so even if we don't see a hole, it could have beat the skirts out of it, beat the rods out of it.
And the other thing is where that when you get to detonating, what it does, it beats the little end of the rod up. Well, it beats the whole thing up, beats the bearing. But the first place it shows up on something like that is it'll beat the little end of the rod out. So in other words, like you'll take the rod and piston out, and the rod will be floppy on the wrist pin.
Wow, yeah. All right.
So there's a lot of places that can, be a problem,
Yeah, so right now I haven't destroyed the motor. I probably shouldn't try to continue.
Yeah, I mean, it's all one piece, you know what I mean? So it's probably an easy fix here,
Yeah. I'm just going to go see if a guy wants to sell the motor out of his broken car.
I would love to keep going. I'm trying to push him to look for out-of-the-box solutions. I'm looking for a Hemi motor on Marketplace as we speak, so we'll see what happens. I would be thrilled to throw one in here. I guess he's going to ask Jared, who's really our biggest competition, if we can have his engine for the week or pay him for it. So I don't really know what's happening. It's a big ask, by the way. That's a big one. I think we get his motor, put it in here, and then all 4 of us ride in this thing all week. That would be the best. That'd be the best thing that ever happened. But we'll see. Very, very understandable if he tells us to go pound sand Totally reasonable.
It'd be a lot easier just to give him my transmission than to try to buy his motor. Hello. How's it going?
Maybe not as bad as you.
I've had better days. What are you doing? What are you working on? What's your plan?
We're putting it back in the trailer.
You are?
Put in the spare clutch and it doesn't work right. We can't make it work. So unfortunately, for the first time ever, we have to not start and not finish. First time.
We ran out of time.
I'm broke.
What'd you break?
Oh no.
The motor.
What?
You know.
Dude.
They run on fuel, but when they don't have enough of it.
Oh no, really?
Super like.
All we've done is work on that car, and now I'm just like, I don't even want to look at that car.
Right. Same thing last night when they're like, these guys, just tear it out. You have Dennis over here and Alex. Just tear it out. It's what we do. Tear it out. We stayed till 4 a.m. tear the damn thing out.
Yeah.
Got the damn thing back in. It's not right. It won't work. It's like, ugh.
It was a 3 a.m. mistake.
I was where you were. I was like, no, it's done. I don't want to tear this thing apart. I don't want to work on it anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like you have spare pistons just laying around.
No, well, I talked to Pete, and I was like, hey, if I find rings, he's like, it could be the little end of the rods. It could be, he's like, you don't, right now it's in one piece. Don't do it, because we can fix it pretty easily now.
Figure it out. Yeah.
You go
pull it apart.
Yeah, you go wad it up, try and drive down the road. Because I'm like, well, I'll drive it to the next stop. And he's like, you do that, and you're talking everything broken, not just rings.
I saw it come back and saw it smoking. It's like, that's not good.
Yeah, no. All right, well, we'll do this again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Sean, always a pleasure.
Yes. The motivation back. Hopefully it's simple and we can meet up in February.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
How we doing?
Do you have a hoist?
You ready? We're gonna stick this in there, or what? This is what I'm saying.
Put the long block in?
In all reality, we should do that, and we should all ride in that thing. Are you guys down for that?
Wait, did you get the back seat in?
I'll sit in the back. There's carpet. Doesn't matter.
Nice.
Teamwork.
Let's do it.
Join forces.
Right.
How are you going to get the hoist? You have a hoist to get the motor out?
We'll figure it out. We can pick it up, probably. No, we'd have to get a hoist. We can hoist.
No, if we had the motor out, we could still fix the clutch, and maybe you guys could ride in the back.
That's fine. I'm riding that thing. I don't care, man. I'm trying to go on drag week. I'm good with either one. I took the week off, man. I'm ready to go. I'm not stop. I want to get to Indy. I don't. If you're serious, he would do it. He'd either.
What else are you gonna do?
Buy it or.
What's that? You gonna go home? That sounds like kind of a lot of fun to me.
I was figuring we'd drink some beer and then maybe at the next
drive to the next stop.
We got a Dodge that, that'll work just
Gonna
fine.
wrestle up some people to help do this.
You want to do it?
What?
You're the best. This guy's the best. Let's do this thing. All right, I'm gonna tell him. Well, yeah, I feel like we got something going on now. I'm gonna make him do it. It was his idea. It's happening. He said he gets his motor out in an hour. I bet we could go faster than that. It's on.
Over. What do you mean?
They offered, dog.
I was just there. They didn't offer.
He just offered, but I didn't even go up. He goes, you got a hoist or what? I was like, let's do it. Dude shook my hand. That motor is coming in this car. He was, absolutely, it's happening. And I told him, Jared, and I was like, you guys should ride with us.
Can we put 2 seats in here and take
I'll sit in the back. Who cares?
I'm down. I didn't even ask. Dude.
I didn't really ask you. I was going down.
I went over there and said goodbye, and I'll see you in February, and I'm sorry you broke. I broke too. I did not go over there and ask them, like, hey, can we borrow your Hemi?
Yeah, it's not a small ask.
No, they've seen what I do to Hemis. Like, if I was them, I wouldn't loan us it.
Yeah.
So we need a
There's got to be some kind of like money back guarantee, I'm sure, at some point, but they will absolutely help us pull that motor out of their car and stick it in this one. And I think all 4 of us should just ride in this thing.
I have a time slip. I'll go turn it in there.
Turn it in.
Change of plan. Maybe we won't be out. Jared broke his car bad enough where he can't utilize the Hemi that's between the fenders. And I broke my Hemi to the point where I can't use my car. So we're going to pull our resources. And if I have to, I'll put a couch in the back of this car to bring them with me. And we're going to soldier on with someone else's motor. As soon as I turn this in, this is kind of important. Well, that's not what he said. He said you offered. Oh my God. Dude, don't do this. This is a bad idea.
Let's do it. Don't listen to that. It's a great idea.
Well, I don't want to destroy it. I prefer to buy it and not borrow it.
Yeah.
We need like 5 minutes for him to call Indy, find out what a long block costs. We figure out a price, and then we go to O'Reilly, buy a hoist, and
let's do it.
Let's do this.
It'll be the best.
Let's do
It'll be
this.
the best.
Oh,
I was down to fix their thing, and I'm like, now we're both wrecked. Let's just put them together.
He doesn't want to fix that, which
we can now. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have time.
Yeah, I don't blame him. But all right, I'm gonna go turn this in just in case we do come in an agreement.
Turn it in.
Then we're still in, and we'll. Wow.
Well, what's a long block? 20?
God, I hope not.
You less?
I hope it's less than that.
Is it?
No, we're broke.
So what do you
Another
do?
racer can take us to the parts store. We can Uber to the parts store.
Okay.
You want to make friends and
I got it. Some kid I just reshared some kid's post that I know from Drift Days, a photographer who just said he'll run and do whatever we need.
Oh, dude.
I think he's got a truck.
If you can get us to O'Reilly's, we'll.
Well, I was also saying we could just get a come along and do it off these girders for sure.
I asked about that, and they were like, "Do not do that.
Don't do that.
The owner will lose it."
Okay.
No, let's just get a portable folding
that's
hoist.
fine.
And
all right, I'll get on that.
Because he's willing, I think we can make this work. He just needs to give me a price.
They're gonna ride with us or what?
He said he might be able to be talked into that.
I love it, dude.
I would love to put them in the car and let's just make this happen.
That'd be the best.
Okay. There's a chance. I'm gonna go turn in the time slip because I have to do that to stay in competition. And then it sounds like we might be able to get our hands on a long block from Jared Scott, which is amazing. And then stay up all night swapping and road tripping to the next track. So here we go. Already got an engine hoist you can bring over?
Yep.
That would be amazing. And maybe a floor jack for the trans and
stands, whatever you need.
That would be awesome, dude. And I gotta be honest, we don't have any tools. We left them all at home.
We got all the tools.
We're closed.
We got a whole
Yeah,
shop.
we closed today. So for this.
Dude, that would be amazing.
We came here instead of working, so if you, we can go to the shop and get everything you need.
That would
Make
be
a list.
amazing.
We'll be back.
Dude, you're amazing. Thank you.
We'll be
Right
back.
on.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
be back.
Well, dude, the universe is telling me, keep going, don't quit. The folks from Kenny's Auto Repair were hanging out here. They're from Normandy, Missouri, according to the business card. And they just said, what do you need? I said, I need an engine hoist. They're like, great, we're gonna go get one from our shop, which is totally legal. Oh, there's Jared Scott.
I called Indy.
Yep.
And it's not looking good for us.
What do you mean?
Not money-wise, parts back up. I wouldn't be able to get another motor. He said probably 6 months, but more likely 8 months. And I can't wait that long. I wouldn't be able to put my car back together and make for what I really want to do, which is 6 weeks. That makes me really want to pass. It just
okay.
I freaking love the idea, man, but that will kill my program.
Got it. Okay.
I really dig the idea, but I don't want to do it on my motor for that long. That kills me.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any other way around it. You know, part shortages are like, especially when you're trying to do it from scratch.
I totally understand. Thank you for at least entertaining the idea.
I freaking love the idea, but I just don't think it makes sense.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Roller coaster is killing me. All right, let me call these people. We don't have a motor now. And that's not his fault. Like, that, I totally understand. He's got things he wants to do with his car. I buy his motor. He doesn't have a motor. It takes him too long to get the motor for, the new motor for what he wants to do. Like, I understand. We were close, Chris. We were nearly back. And now we're not. All right, he changed his mind.
What?
He just changed his mind.
No.
He came to his senses.
You don't want to sell us Hemi?
No. He called Indy to get a price on it. So, and they said it's going to be 8 to 9 months for him to get a replacement one, and he doesn't want to wait that long. Let me call Ryan Brett. Yeah, I don't need anything that exotic at the moment. I just cooked the motor in Blasphemi at Drag Week, and we're trying to stay in. Oh, this is wild. I just talked to my friend Ryan Brett, who's got a YouTube channel. He's called The Auto Archaeologist because he's the guy that finds just barn finds everywhere and all these really cool things. And I remember a while ago he told me he knew a guy that had a lot of Hemis, but I didn't know where that guy was. Turns out that guy lives an hour from here and he has 40 Hemis. Are any of them Gen 2 boost ready long blocks that I can use? I don't know, but he had a pacemaker put in and he's under anesthesia. And Ryan said as soon as he comes out from under the anesthesia, he'll talk to him. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe today's not the day for that. And he's like, oh, no. He's great. I talked to him yesterday before he went in. He'll want to help. And I'm like, why not? I mean, at this point, why not? Guy with a pacemaker might have something that saves our drag week. I don't know. I keep saying it, but I'm going to try to turn the time slip in without seeing a squirrel and getting distracted, because this is step one. We need this. Oh, what a day. What a roller coaster. Oh, my. Oh, I'm glad I didn't. Sorry I'm late. Hi.
What did you run, bud?
About 9:56.
Oh, you got me covered. I'm not showing you mine.
You're kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Dude.
Are you still in? Still going? Still?
Yeah, we're running on 4 cylinders like an old John Deere tractor.
Okay.
But
keeping it
sort of
positive.
moves under its own power.
Just minor requests. Where's the Grimmy?
It's in Georgia.
That's right, you got shit back. You can't get it back in?
Yeah.
Did it seriously already get sent back?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's at Cotton's.
What's wrong with your brain?
No. I can't do that.
It's yours anyway.
It's not.
Technically.
It is not mine.
Let's make the call.
No, he knows I'm broke. I can't ask. I guess no, I can't.
Have a safe unit if it loses.
You're like the second person to tell me that exists.
Really?
Yeah, there's no safety.
You're a lot smarter than me. You should know that.
I'm really not. Really not. If I was, there'd be gas in the tank.
True that. Yeah, there is that. Okay.
Safeties are on my list of things to do. Tony's like, hey, did you put a switch in to switch from one tune to the other? I'm like, no, man, that's way down on the bottom of the list, next to making safeties happen. Yeah. You know who's got a Hemi nearby?
Who?
Freiburger?
No. Where is it?
I can't do it. He knows we're broke, and he didn't just go.
That's true.
I can't ask, dude. He just got that thing back. Full circle moment. So after almost getting a motor from Jared, who's in our class, and that not working out, and then almost getting a motor from a guy who's having a pacemaker installed right now and who's under anesthesia, we've now gone full circle back to the motor that was originally in this car when it was built, and which I just recently had rebuilt and give back to Freiburger. We're about to steal that out of his Gremlin to put it back in this car. This is totally full circle.
Hell yeah.
I blew that motor up here in 2018.
And this time.
And now it's rebuilt and it's back.
Yeah.
We're going to make it. We're going to get there tomorrow. We need to be at the next track by 2 p.m. tomorrow when they close the lanes so we can make a pass. So these are my homies from Wyoming. This is Tyler. This is Sean Fink. We have a lot of history. My wife's Suburban was once his. My 6-door truck was once mine, is now his.
Drag Week 2014.
Yeah, Drag Week. We've done a lot of things together, and their Nova is here competing in Drag Week, and they just decided to stick around and help us out do this. So it's gonna go really quick now that we got help and friends and a Hemi coming. That's warm.
Aim. Try to get some of that in there. That's something. I'll tell you what, we're gonna get it together. What I like about this is we're not quitting. We're just gonna keep getting after it.
Well, apparently, Blasphemi did it what it always does. No, I don't. It actually messed up the motor. So what we're gonna do is, we're in my shop here in New Baden. We're gonna go ahead and take the Gremlin to them. That's the Hemi that was actually in the Blasphemi at one time. So I gotta move some stuff over. We're gonna go drop it off to them and let them have fun.
So we're about to load this up, run it over there. They're going to rip the motor out of it. I'm assuming put the blower on this short block and
go finish Drag Week.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at all. I knew this was coming.
Good. We're better now. You came to save the day.
I see one. Hang on 1 second.
Is there a bolt in there still? If it's at 9 o'clock, it's like a dowel. Let's go up.
Come out a little
back.
bit. Come on back.
Oops. All right, up some more. Keep going. All right, we can go forward some more. All right, now up some more.
There she is.
We need a tire.
That's what I said.
Yeah, big girl.
You gave it its all.
Tried hard.
It's going pretty good. You know, we're kind of good at taking apart Blasphemi, so, you know. Motor was out in probably under an hour. And the Gremlin, I had that apart less than 2 weeks ago when I put that motor back in it. So it won't take that long. What's going to get us in trouble are all the little things, all the little differences between this one and that one. You know, there'll be some hang-ups there. But I feel like we'll overcome it. The rub will be when we're getting on the road at midnight. And then having to drive, you know? It all looks brand new and yet it's broken. The guys were saying earlier they were trying to roll the motor over with a ratchet and it didn't want to move over because it's seizing up. And that's why we didn't continue on is we could have driven it, but 30 miles from here when it took out the rod bearings, you know, then we would have probably wrecked the crank and wrecked the rods. And at least now we can take it home and, you know, rebuild it without hopefully too much damage. Hopefully it's just pistons and rings.
The brass is?
Yeah, because the brass was flush.
Oh my God, my finger hurts.
Dude, you hit that thing solid.
Hear it.
So this is a bearing that supports the input shaft of the manual transmission. And we need it for the other crankshaft because it doesn't have it. So we've shoved a loaf of bread in there to fill the cavity. And now we're smashing a socket in there to compress and expand the bread to force the bushing out of the back of the crankshaft. You hit your thumbs a few hundred times, but it does work.
I think you just got to get more hairy with it.
I don't want to smash my thumb.
Hang on.
I gotta admit, this is the first time I've ever used the cones. But I feel like there's a combo here that's gonna work.
I think so. They use the trash can, isn't that what Freiberger does?
Trash can? I don't know.
Ready to go down?
Yep. Oh yeah, she's cushioned. Perfect.
Oh, that's solid.
Like a glove.
Dude.
Look at that. Earthquake. Earthquake's not gonna knock that thing down.
You need that. Does David have the same damper?
I don't know. I hope so.
You don't need it.
That looks like a block-off plate. It might be in the way of my alternator though. I'll get the block-off plate off the other one. Here's the other bolt.
Torque converter bolts?
Yep.
Got them?
Yeah.
6 p.m. on Monday at Drag Week. We're still here. We're taking the motor out of this Gremlin still.
Hey, where's the Bauer?
This feels a lot like
It's right here.
other drag weeks. All's not lost. We have a second Hemi, spare Hemi, backup Hemi.
Yeah.
Didn't know we needed it, but we have it now, and we're thankful. Thank you, Freiberger.
That'll work.
Got something?
Surprise! Just kidding.
Let me get that
Like
back.
both of our Hemis, we'll just keep it in my garage. I never thought that motor would be back in my life.
It's only been like a month, dude.
No,
Sleeves are in.
a week ago. No, we drove this car here to Drag Week. This was his car, his motor, 3 days ago.
Incredible.
Well, these are custom contoured bolts that hold the flex plate on the back of this thing. And that's so that they don't hit the torque converter. And yeah, it's the torque converter bolts here. But these were hitting the torque converter, so they
Bro,
don't.
those are jewels from the game Zelda.
Dude.
You can't fool me. And they're beautiful.
Let's just hope they come back off.
Those are rupees.
Somebody hold the motor for me.
You can't. You got to commit to it. You can't rattle it twice.
Just want to make sure
Push
I'm
hard,
square.
man. Is that pan around?
Oh my Lord, are we gonna get?
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Ew.
Yeah, whatever. You're not gonna get on it anyway. It's all right.
When we installed this, I was like, well, it's probably never going to be taken apart again, so it's fine. It's fine.
Right?
There's only one.
You have one on both sides of this? Should be two, yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, don't put it on yet.
Yeah, mid plate.
Mid plate.
Got it?
Right there. All right, so somewhere around here.
Don't move.
We are good.
Where's the one missing?
Hold on.
All right.
Is that all of them? You got one that's falling out here on the bottom.
That's all right. You can, as long as we get some started, you can bring them. You can still slide them in from the side.
Yeah. Okay, and the alignment tool is in the center drawer of the toolbox.
I need a
center small drawer.
I need a Allen. This is not by hand going to happen.
Ready?
They're not started yet. No. Go ahead, try.
Right now I'm using cardboard box from Taco Bell to make a template because this is a mounting boss for mechanical fuel pump. We're not going to use a mechanical fuel pump, and I need to cover this somehow. I can't leave the fuel pump in because it's in the way of my alternator, so I'm going to make a plate using this template, and then my friend Tyler is cutting up his aluminum exhaust off his car. We'll use his aluminum exhaust, flatten it, put some holes in it, shape it like that, bolt it on there, block that off. No leaky.
One gasket coming out.
A big wrench on that thing or something? We got to get some kind of twist in it. It needs to spin this way.
So it's a thread in, but it's got Loctite. Our pickup threads in too, before we get too far along in this.
Yours is off, right?
I don't know.
Ours just comes from your pump to the.
You got nothing inside?
Oh, yeah.
What do you have inside your block then? Is it blocked off?
I don't know.
We're going to have to do something. That can't be right. Can't be sucking in an empty hole in yours. You probably have a pipe plug in yours. You're going to have to look at it.
It must have a pipe plug.
All right, so if this, we're going to have to put a pipe plug in here anyway, right? Yeah. Well, I guess if your oil pump is configured to only suck out that side, then it might not do anything in the front there anyway.
We're, having another lose the shop moment. Freiberger's engine had a center sump oil pan. Mine has a rear sump oil pan, and mine has an external pickup that goes all the way down back here in the oil pan. His goes through the block. We need to get his out, and it threads into the block, and it's got red Loctite in it, and we're mangling it trying to get it out. So this is one of those, if we break it, we're screwed. If it doesn't come out, we're screwed. This needs to work to not be screwed. We need this out of there without destroying it. And our engine hoist is teetering, because why not?
Because if this hub can come off, we get to the side of it, you could drill through it, hammer a pin to it. You could pin it. It'd be like 20 minutes. We get it done. Break a bolt off in there.
I think it's physically possible to be done. I'm just starting to have guilt over what I'm about to do to his motor, and if it doesn't all work perfectly, then I'm junking his motor.
I get it.
And it won't be competitive, and
So we can this be back here? We just need the spacing.
Well, it needs to be, this whole thing needs to be spaced on the back side.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you go on the back side, that has to go in and seal to the crank though, right?
Yeah, so they make those
those RCD hub.
let's center that to bring it out, because we could, honestly, what we could do, this is the problem. So you either put this on the hub, and then we have a spacer that's got a concentric hub on the center that spaces it. It's just a little shim that spaces it out, and then you put your crank drive on it.
Yeah.
And this is the jack thing about this is the pulley alignment is a half an inch off on the alternator.
And do what?
What's that?
And just be done.
I think it's creating more problems. We're going to run into more problems. One concern is the oiling side of it, is not knowing how the passages work and if it's going to.
I think we got a handle on that, but I would do a little more research. But
I think you have a good handle on that. I'm less worried about that.
Yeah.
The pickup breaking off in the motor is, I don't think we can bend it back without totally weakening it where it just falls off.
I think without, we don't need it. I think we can literally break it off, and I'll just close it on the side and forget about it. It's just a 1 inch passage.
It's just a pickup passage for the pump.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do.
But it's
gasket,
the closing it.
Plate.
Is
I'm gonna do a gasket, plate, gasket, and just close that one off.
This would be a lot easier decision if it was my motor. I feel bad we all ripped this all apart. I feel bad I tore his car apart. I feel bad you guys stood around here all night doing this. And
Don't feel bad. We all offered.
I don't know. We got tools scattered everywhere, parts scattered. We don't have a good way to seal that. The pulleys aren't going to line up. The balancer is likely to shear off. We can't put any boost to it because it's got really, really small ring gaps. Like, there's just 19 reasons why this is not a good idea. This has been a roller coaster.
I'm all over the place.
Had a Hemi, didn't have a Hemi. Got a Hemi. Wrong Hemi. We'll make it work. No, making it work's a bad idea.
I mean,
that was the roller coaster today.
We could run it NA, 700 horse, but then we're not going to be competitive, and not being competitive sucks, and we're just cruising along.
Yeah.
Still fun, but not exactly the thing.
No, you
can run,
11s.
10s.
No, 11s.
You run 10s. You run 10-3 or something.
1070s.
Yeah. No, that thing's light, isn't it? I think it's pretty light.
It'll run high 10s.
Can we
I didn't know the ring gap was that.
I didn't either.
What is it?
It used to be 028, which I'll put 5 pounds of boost to that.
All day long.
But it's 023.
Okay. It's pretty tight.
Yeah.
Take 6 to 8 pounds, right? Come on.
He told me flat out, don't do it.
Don't put any boost to it?
Yep. He said, none.
What?
Yeah. He said, do not do it. God, this was a lot of work. A lot of work to.
You're hearing this, right? We've been through this
so
thing
much
the last
work.
3 weeks.
I know. Everyone here, everyone at Drag Week has been through.
Oh my gosh.
We are not special. Everybody busted their asses to get here.
We feel the pain.
Didn't even make it out of the parking lot. The not racing thing sucks.
You can still race it.
The not being competitive thing
I'll drive
sucks.
it. I'll go drive it 1050 or whatever.
I'd be fine with you driving. It's just like we're gonna do all of that.
I know we're gonna lot, but here's what's happening.
We're gonna
right now.
we're gonna butcher his stuff.
I know.
To run 1050.
I don't think. First off, whatever we've already. Nothing from here is going back on. You know what I mean? Like, if we were to put it in NA with the tunnel ram, we will be doing no more damage to it than we've already done.
I know. I already feel bad about what he's about to see.
My point is, if you look at it like this, it's like we can run it NA and have a drag week, or we can not run it NA and not have a drag week. I totally understand it, but that's my only thing.
Yeah.
I'm down.
You're right. We could run it with a tunnel ram and figure out the oiling system, and we could continue on. It just doesn't make me happy to do it.
I know.
Like
I get
I'm
it.
just like,
what are you gonna gain?
We get drag week out of it, really. I mean, what are we gonna do for this? We're gonna fly home?
You know what I mean? Like, we're not going on.
We're not going to drag week.
We're not going on drag
run.
Week. We're going on a car cruise. Butcher his car to go on a car cruise, I guess, is my problem.
Listen, we can put that. There's 5 people in the class, dog. We can put that thing in every break. We can still win. There's 4 people in the class now. You know that, right? We're started with 5. Jared's out.
You don't want to win that way. Or do you?
I want to win, dog.
He's like, a win's a win, bro.
Yeah. I'm saying they could have trouble. They could be running 11s, and then our 10-0s all week could look good. For this motor, you already put down a scorcher. 950 or whatever. That'll be our best pass of the week.
You're making all the sense in the world. You really are. I'm having a hard time accepting.
I'm also an absolutely insanely competitive moron who's like, this is the only thing out there is like bring my A game. That's the only thing I would do. Totally.
If it wasn't his
I'm
motor,
gonna build that Pontiac motor this week. Like, I'm ready to go.
If it wasn't his motor, I'd feel differently about this. Just.
You want me to buy it from him? Let's do it.
He doesn't
want for that thing.
He does not want to sell it. like all week long when we were driving this car, he was so happy about it, how well his motor
I know. You
worked.
guys built a banger, it seems like.
Like, he was so stoked on it, and I'm like, great, I just mangled.
He gave it to you. That's how much he loves you.
I mangled
Come
the oil
on.
pump pickup on your motor, and man.
Is there any reality where you can come up with a good solution? We can like get it NA for a day or 2 and then get the blower on it. Realistically.
Take all the pistons out and open up the ring gaps.
I don't want to do that.
If the pistons would come out the bottom, I'd be like, yeah, let's open up all the ring caps. I don't want to take the heads off.
It'd be tough to get them back in. Tunnel ram, Hemi, drag week, or it's pack it up and try again.
All right. So here's where I'm at. When this is over, and there's a car with no motor and a dead motor out here somewhere in Illinois, and I don't have a day off for the next, I don't even know when. I don't know how to get everything home. I don't know how to put his car back together. I'm literally like, in my brain, I'm going, don't be an idiot. Just spend the next 2 days putting his car back together, getting your stuff somehow on the ramp truck and getting it home so you can put your life back together. It's worse than that. I'm in way over my head. We took Freiberger's Gremlin, pulled the motor out of it, ripped it half apart, realized it wasn't going to work, and now I've got 2 dead cars sitting in a parking lot and no days off of work to make it right, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Yeah, his Gremlin is ripped apart. It's just, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm letting everybody down that's standing here that's worked so hard to get us this far, and I'm like, we need to stop. We're not going to be competitive with this motor. We've screwed up this motor. We're probably going to blow his motor up too. So I just had to tell everybody we're done. And now I'm just like, we have no hotel rooms tonight. We're just, it's all bad. It's all bad. Oh, it's all right. It's my fault. It is my fault. It is okay. We're going to have to drop out, and I've got 2 cars ripped apart here in the pits and a whole lot of tired people, and it's pitch black and I got no lights, and I'm sitting here going, is it possible to come back in the morning and just... Sure. Okay.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Indianapolis. We are here at IRP Indianapolis Raceway Park. It is day 2 of Hot Rod Magazine Drag Week.
You know, we had a plan of stealing Freiberger's Hemi, and then for a variety of reasons, just for me personally, it wasn't going to work. I didn't want to destroy that motor. That motor was not built for boost. You know, we just had a bunch of issues. Everything was fighting us. The oil pump pickup was going to break, trying to get it out of the block. None of the pulleys lined up. It was just, everything said, don't do this. And so I decided, let's just put his car back together and not destroy 2 Hemis. And let's look at mine a little more closely and see, can we get parts? You know, we're out of competition, but can we get parts and fix this thing? We're sitting at the last track where drag week ends. So, like, we're already here. Can we fix this thing when everybody comes back? We make some fun passes, or can we catch up to everybody and hang out? I don't know. So right now what I've got is a snap-on bore scope. It's basically a camera, and I'm looking down into the cylinders to see, are we missing pieces of piston? Because normally, you know, what happens when you lean one of these out is the temperature gets so hot that it just starts melting aluminum, you know, which can be a hole through the piston, you know, it could be a number of things, but there's nothing on the spark plugs that shows me aluminum chunks anywhere. So maybe we just fried the rings out of it, you know? That would be amazing. We can overnight rings and, you know, maybe hone this thing and put it back together. I don't know. But this little camera is helping me look in there without taking the heads off to try to find out, are there any big holes in the pistons? And so far, I don't see anything down the center. It's tough to see the edges of the pistons. But, you know, and right now I got some valves open that are stopping me from seeing everything. But so far, I haven't seen a single piston with a hole in the middle of it. There's no aluminum on the spark plugs. Yep. We might have just fried the rings out of it, which wouldn't be so bad.
Okay. I mean, it's smoking, so oil's getting past the rings, right? And there's 2 ways to do it. Like either the surface of the ring is shot, the actual friction surface, or the pit they are in and the piston grabs them, and then it cools down, and there's a big gap, right? So if it's the first one, we throw new rings in it and be back to 100%. If it's the second one, we have the hardest we have the pistons in it, but let me see.
We're not getting pistons.
The fact that there's no aluminum on the spark plugs is very encouraging.
Yeah. But there's oil all over the spark plug. So yeah, obviously we have an oil control issue.
Yeah, well now, of course.
It'd have been great if it just sucked an intake gasket and that was our problem. Wouldn't even be mad that we ripped apart the gremlin to find that problem, but I don't think that's what happened here.
No, we were so low on fuel pressure.
Yeah, we had,
but the tops of these pistons don't look.
We had 16 pounds of fuel pressure in the engine
that's a good
at the top end of the track, because what fuel was in the fuel cell went to the back of it.
What is that? Is that a hole? Come here, real quick.
It's either a hole. I don't think it's a hole. Because see how dark it is, and then it's worn away there, and then.
I can get a shot of that. Your face.
I don't think it is. I think that's color. All right, that's inconclusive. I don't think we have holes in our pistons, at least that we can see. But that means the heads still need to come off. We need the heads off and the pistons out so we can find out what do we need to replace so we can overnight stuff like today, you know?
Where do you want to spend our time?
Well, if we're trying to rebuild this, we need to take it apart, you know?
Okay. Well, why don't we put this up on the truck?
Start taking it apart.
Start taking it apart. Well, let's split up.
Let's do this. Let's get this swung in the car so we can have the hoist back.
Okay.
You know, can somebody help us? You know, if we need machine work, if we need to hone something, you know what I mean?
Yep. Just come on down. I repair all the top fuel engine blocks, and I got homes and whatever you need. So.
Okay.
We got David's motor back together pretty much. We're gonna lift Mike's motor up, throw it on the ramp truck like a big giant table, and then we're going to start tearing it apart and see if we can get a better idea from the inside out what this thing looks like. Keep coming straight. A little more.
Yeah, so the roadkill ramp truck just became a table, and
world's fastest table, baby.
We're going to, it's a 16-second table.
Hell yeah.
With a gremlin on the back of it. I'll start taking the heads off and find out exactly what's wrong with our motor.
What could it be? What could it be? Is it a burnt piston, smoked rings? What could it be? It's like unwrapping a present.
This is how extensive the list of to-do things was on this build and how many things didn't happen because of the time crunch. That valve cover has 6-point bolts in it. This one has 12 points. I hate 12 points. No one ever has the right fasteners and the right tools.
They look cool. Come on.
They look cool, except you know what I'm missing right now? A socket.
Socket for those? Yeah, that sounds right.
So I'm using a wrench to take this off. It's on that was the very bottom of the list, right next to put a switch so you can just flip a switch and change the tune.
Oh yeah, that was my request.
That didn't happen either. Cam looks good, like it looks mostly happy.
There's some fancy stuff in here, bro.
And if we didn't smoke the pistons out of this motor, I have rings going to Indy tomorrow. Got a buddy with a machine shop there. Like, we got a chance.
Jeez. All right, it's your last chance to put LS in it, though.
Negative. You can just erect a monument right here that says, Finnegan will never put an LS in Blasphemi.
We could write that in Hemi parts, probably, if you want.
Yeah, I'd spell it out. You can see it from space. What's up, big guy? Hi. Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to see you, too.
Okay.
Lord.
All right.
Okay, I can do these two. You got another wrench?
I got long one.
Wow.
Yeah, they're on there good.
Holy cow, Pete.
Yeah, Pete wasn't playing, dude.
Hammer?
And they're spring loaded, so you don't want to put any side load on it. You really got to get it.
There we go. Got that, Alan?
No, I don't have it. An eighth, and I need it.
Eighth? Okay.
And you got to back them all the way out. We pulled the valve covers off, a Hemi, because Hemi means like it's got a hemispherical combustion chamber. So to support that, the valves come in from crazy angles, and which means push rods are coming in from all over. It's got this dual rail rocker system. So all we're doing now is spinning the engine over, finding rockers that don't have any tension on them, backing them off, taking all of the adjuster all the way out so that the cam can't put any tension on it, so that when we bust these loose and lift it off, there's no tension. Because at any given moment, there is some push rod opening a valve somewhere on the motor. So we're gonna just spin it all the way around, relieve everything, and then we'll pull these rails off. Then we can start taking the heads off. You got a bag for lifters?
On it.
We're gonna put these back in the holes they came out of, or what?
No, it's not a flat tappet. It's not a flat tappet, right?
It's not a flat tappet. It is not.
Wait, hold on. Take them out one at a time. Let's thumb the wheels and make sure we don't have any issues.
All right.
So, here, put that one back. Let's start here on number 1.
Hold on. Let me get in there first. These are linked roller solid lifter boys. What's this? What's that?
Oh, that looks like a piece of a cotter pin, bro.
What's that? You may be right. Yeah, I don't know. Let's not put it back in the motor.
Here's a fun fact for you guys. If you've got a big block Chevy, and you've got tie bar lifters, it is possible to flip them over, go like that, put them in the motor, and what you don't see is that the wheels are then 45 degrees to the lobe, and you can make 15 dyno pulls like that.
Nice.
Until it doesn't work anymore. So I know we've only got like...
Thank you for that public service you did to find that out.
8 miles on these, but they look great.
Yeah, they do. Everything looks good in here so far.
They roll freely. I mean, I know we've got, half a dozen dyno pulls in 8 miles, but looks amazing.
Anything gouged, deep scratches, inability to roll.
Yeah, you want them to slide in and out freely. And
their bores in the block.
Yeah, you don't want a lot of play in the wheel. That's bad. The wheel should look stock. The lobe, you should be able to see some lines, but you shouldn't be able to catch your fingernail on anything on the lobe. That means the wheel's grinding into it, taking out the camshaft. In general, that's not usually a problem with a roller lifter. This is a roller wheel. That's something you usually see with, a flat tappet cam where this is solid and it has a crown ground into it and it's supposed to spin in there based on the profile of the cam lobe. These are roller wheels, so these just basically are skidding along the surface of the cam lobes. Shout out to the guys at BAM for having these and making them, and then even bigger shout out for Tim Banning at 4 Hemis Only, who is moving from Canada to Florida, and 3 days before the dyno, we called him and said we need lifters, and he said, I have 50 sets, they're just in a crate somewhere, and I haven't moved into my new shop. But in the middle of moving, he uncrated these and overnighted these to Pete so we could put our Hemi together. These are bueno.
Yeah, these are fine. These are fine. They move fine in the bores. They're not bushed, though. Come on, man.
They are not bushed.
Get serious.
I'm serious. They're not bushed.
I know.
All right, so we have 4 in the valley we got to break loose. And then
Not hit you in the face with a pipe.
4. I'll be way over here when you do those valley ones again. I ain't forgot.
I know.
You brought it up though.
I know I did.
There was a time where Tony and I and David Freiberger and Dave Newbern were in this very same situation where we slapped a Hemi together on a picnic table for this car, and it would not seal the cylinder heads because it was missing these bolts. And finally we got the bolts to put in there, and Tony was in there tightening them with I believe it was a short wrench and a jack handle. And the whole thing slipped, and he smacked me in the face and split my head open.
That's right in the eye, too. It was impressive.
But we still made it to the race, and I still lost.
That's true.
So there's going to be water, there's going to be oil. Move my phone. You guys ready?
You think? Oh, yeah. You want to drain anything?
Nah, let's just...
Okay.
I want to see what the pistons look like.
It's even worse.
What is that? That's nothing. This looks fine. This is the bad side of the motor, too.
What's going on?
I don't know. I don't see anything wrong yet.
This block is O-ringed?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
It's a serious piece.
This is serious as hell.
We should be more serious about how much fuel's in the tank.
Yeah, probably fill it up with gas next time.
Dude, I don't
You didn't blow these.
I don't see anything wrong, dude.
Look here to see if I can see where any combustion chamber would have breached out into water jackets or oil. But O-ring block has a little piece of wire they machine a half a groove, and then they lay in this soft wire, and it makes like an incredible seal. That's some big boy race stuff.
I'm tripping. I don't see anything wrong. Unless the rings just somehow lost all their tension.
Can you move piston up and down? I can move them. They got reasonable rock to it. See it?
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
It moves that much in the bore. Let me move this one.
That means the rings aren't stuck in it, though.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. This one moves a little less. But if they're moving, again, the rings can't be stuck in them, because then they wouldn't move really happily.
Wait a minute. That's an insert that goes in the head, but look. So the spark plug seals the tube.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
Well, the spark plug seals the tube to the engine.
Yeah. I
It's
get that.
supposed to look like.
I understand that it has a seat on it. You know, the spark plug sits on top of this.
Yeah,
Pulls
and it
this
sucks
in.
it to it.
Yeah, pulls it in.
There's no ring in here that seals that.
Yep.
Right?
The outside.
Valve cover fills with oil. That is supposed to keep. If this doesn't seal, oil gets in here, but then the spark plug should hit that and seal this into the engine block.
Mm-hmm.
They can't in this one.
I know, but all it's going to do is it's going to get into where the wire is. It's not going to get in. It's not coming out the exhaust, no matter what that thing does. No matter what that thing does, it shouldn't be coming out the exhaust. I think let's check for some bent valves. Make sure everything's seated in there.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain how the oil got into the chamber, you know?
Some bent valves? What do you mean? The guides could be wrecked up?
We leaned it out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't know why the valves would be bent or the guides would be jacked. This is weird. I mean, it might not have any ring tension.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think the most realistic thing is that the rings were shot.
Like, I'm happy. I don't see this thing trashed. I'm just trying to go, well, what needs fixing? You know?
Well, spin it. How's it spin? Super easy or what?
Yeah, it spins fine. Like, that's a normal engine. That's a normal big block. It's taking maybe 25 foot-pounds of torque to rotate the thing over.
No real smoking gun so far.
Yeah, on the bright side, I can't find anything wrong with the motor. On the downside, I don't know what's wrong with the motor. It's entirely possible that there's no ring tension left in this thing from the heat, but, you know, other than doing a pull test with, you know, a fishing scale, I don't know. You call Pete. I've never had one do this and had to sit there and crime scene troubleshoot something where I just can't see a problem, you know? Like, we had oil out of the breather tubes on this side, 1, 2, and 3. None on that side, but there was oil coming out of the exhaust on that side. This side, if this is the valve, do you know which valve cover was on which?
I do not.
If this is that valve cover, then it makes sense that number 3 had a bunch of oil coming out of it because that tube was destroyed.
But no, it doesn't make. That's still not the combustion seal.
No, I know, but how does it get in the exhaust? Exactly. Where I was going.
Yeah. And, you know, that could lead to leaks and nonsense, but I don't buy that for anything else.
Maybe it just needs new rings.
But this thing has seen some action on the dyno and long enough that we would see if there was something weird with the oil system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It had 12 dyno pulls on it.
And wasn't smoking?
No, like it was a night and day difference. When I got to the end of the track, fired it up, just...
Oh, I know.
Smoke.
Yeah.
It
absolutely.
We heard something going down that track.
When you were driving, coming back to me, I could see it smoking already.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like we did that, but what did we do? You know, we know not enough fuel in the tank. We leaned it out. You can see it on the data.
Absolutely.
But what problem did that cause? The only thing I can think of is we knocked all the ring tension out of it.
Yeah, got it super hot, pre-ignition. You know,
we could flip it over and look at some bearings. I mean, we have rings going to Indy. They'll be there tomorrow. We could put this thing back together tomorrow, I think, if there's nothing else wrong with it.
Absolutely. I kind of wanted to see something more of a...
We call Pete and tell him.
Why don't we pull you want to pull a piston out? And have a look?
Let me call Pete real quick and just tell him what we found, and maybe he'll say something that I'm not thinking of. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with the head gasket. It turns over, like we have the heads off, it turns over just fine with a 12-inch ratchet handle. I don't think the rings are stuck because you can grab the pistons and move them around in the bore.
The bore is pretty normally.
You can move the pistons in the bore. None of the cylinder walls are scored. There's no aluminum on any of the spark plugs.
Yeah, right. Well, it doesn't. So what happens a lot of times is it cooks the rings, right?
Okay.
And they basically lose all their tension, and then they don't seal.
That must be what it is then. Maybe we just got lucky and that's all we hurt.
Maybe, hopefully, but the only way to know is to slide them out and see what they look like. Sometimes you can look at when the ring is brand new and you're ready to put it in the hole, there's like probably when the piston's out, like there's probably 3/4 of an inch ring gap, right, that gets compressed down to 30 thousandths or whatever the clearance is.
Right.
Well, when you pull it out after it's been cooked, that gap may be 1/4 of an inch because there's no tension there to expand the ring anymore.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
matter of fact, I'll tell you what, I've got your old piston here. I'll send you a picture of it, and the ring in it is cooked because there's no gap. There's like 1/4 of an inch of gap, right?
Okay.
Where it should be like at least 1/2 inch probably.
Okay. All right.
That'll give you some idea what I'm talking about,
I overnighted a set of rings to Indy. I mean, hell, we'll take it there, and maybe we'll just re-ring this thing. What gaps do you want? Do you want bigger on the second one than the top one?
Yeah, I usually just do them the same,
Okay.
And I think I had yours about 35 or so.
Okay.
I about guarantee. Usually, a lot of times, what it does, it just cooks the top one.
Right.
The second one, it doesn't see that much heat.
Wow. This is
You
amazing.
say just do top rings? Is that what he's saying, or do them all?
He says sometimes it just cooks the top one because the top one takes all the heat.
Well, let's pull them out and check the gaps.
All right, we're gonna pull the pistons out. We've come this far.
Yeah, just slide them out. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Now, make sure I always take those the rod bolts loose by hand, not with the impact or anything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And just slide them out. I'll also send you a picture of this one here. This is your old piston and it's cooked.
Anyway,
All right.
motors,
Sounds good.
heads are off, pistons are free to move, spins happily, but we don't know why there's oil coming in. I don't see anything on the head gasket.
Lucky.
So I'm saying, man, might be all right.
We might
just be that the rings are cooked and they don't have any more tension in them. You need ring tension to make sealing pressure, and that's why oil's getting around them and up and into the combustion chambers. Let's try it. Because essentially, making combustion, they're also scraping the oil out of the way every time. If they're not doing that, it's going to get right in the combustion chamber and smoke.
All right. Things are looking up. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so we are autopsying this thing, and the great news is that visually there's nothing wrong. There's no holes in pistons. There's no aluminum stuck in the cylinder walls. Like, this is good. It's highly possible that when we leaned it out, it just got so hot that all the rings lost their tension, and they're just not scraping the oil off the cylinder walls when the piston goes up and down, which is how it gets in the combustion chamber and goes out the exhaust. Like, we're going to pull a piston out, and with any luck, when that piston comes out, the ring gap doesn't just spring open a whole bunch. I overnighted rings to Indy. We could fix this thing. It should be incredible. bit of trash.
Yeah, look, it didn't even move. There you go. Look out, it's not even sprung.
It's a 1/4 inch.
It should be sprung apart to about here to indicate it's still got some tension.
All right. But look, the ring lands aren't melted.
Yeah, what else can happen? So pre-ignition is when everything fires, when the piston's still on its way up, and it can take the crown of the piston and crush it, and crush the ring lands, and make it impossible to reuse the pistons. But I don't think we have that.
No, that moves. Son of a gun.
This is some burly hardware you got in this thing, buddy.
Second one?
Yeah.
That's what the gap should look like. See how big the gap is in this ring here, the second one? Now watch when I spin the top one. The top one is what takes the brunt of everything, all the heat. See that gap? The top ring, when you try to squeeze it together, very little resistance. The second one, harder to push together. There's no ring tension here anymore. All right, so there's 3 rings in this piston. A top ring, a second ring, and an oil control ring down here. And the top one is doing most of the work, all right? That takes the brunt of all the heat of the combustion process. That ring, if you look, has a very small gap. That's essentially the gap, what it looks like when it's in there, compressed against the cylinder walls. The second ring, see how big that gap is? That's what it looks like when it comes out of the box and you gap it. That takes a bunch of tension to push down when you slide the piston in there. And then you get to the gap, what it's supposed to be, right? When this piston came out, that one sprung apart, this one didn't. That's because the extreme heat just took all the tension out of this steel ring. It's junk. The great news is there's no hole in the piston, there's no junk in the cylinder walls, other than some obvious signs of detonation on the bearings. Like, we're getting off easy, dude. We can re-ring this thing and we can make this car run again. And I'm a happy man because I ordered rings. They're gonna be in Indy, 280 miles from here tomorrow. This is badass, dude. I'm so glad we took it apart.
I'm so not glad we took that one apart.
Yeah. So see the little specks right there? These bearings have a coating on them, right? You can see trash went through the bearings and wiped the coating off. That's no big deal. But see the specks? The little specks are this thing getting hammered from the connecting rod, and it's getting hammered up against the journal on the crank from it detonating. What's detonation? Detonation is the air-fuel mixture igniting off at the wrong time. Like the piston's way too early coming up, and this thing goes boom.
Without the spark plug firing.
Without the spark plug firing, because the combustion chamber has oil in there, and it lights off and it hammers this. The little specks are when this thing gets smashed and the oil comes out of here, and it's smashing whatever trash was in here right into the bearing. So it's debatable whether we should run these again. I'll try to get bearings. If we're real desperate, we'll just run them again. But I'll try to get bearings. Dude, this is best case scenario for what we just did. Not putting fuel in that tank, and topping it off, and running it low, and running it lean, and.
Keep saying we a lot there.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
This is the best case scenario for me. Not putting gas in the tank.
I'm just kidding.
Running it low on fuel.
You say we. I should have checked it. I should have checked it anyway.
No, it's my fault. It is my fault.
But yeah, we're gonna be in business,
dude. The motor's not junk.
Yeah.
The motor is not junk. Okay, a little update for y'all. Here's the plan. Freiberger texted me. He said, don't worry about the gremlin. I said, the motor's already back in it. We're not going to stop until it runs. And it's just the way you left it, which means running, driving, stopping, doing burnouts. And because we're like the modern day AMC, we're taking parts from everybody. We wouldn't deliver a car to the customer without making sure it's fully functional.
Absolutely. This will be stress tested and roadworthy.
By Tony Angelo.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want the responsibility anymore. And once we're sure this is fully functional, we'll then find a way to Tetris all the parts we took off the car and the car onto the ramp truck with the little Drag Week trailer. We're gonna drive 3.5 hours south to Indianapolis, where everybody from Drag Week was today racing. We're gonna crash there, get up in the morning, go to our new friend Jake Sanders' house, rebuild our Hemi, and then hopefully by tomorrow night, that car's running again, and we're trying to catch up with the rest of the Drag Weekers so we can have the same kind of fun they're having.
Exactly.
And hopefully they're not having this kind of fun, because that means their day's not going as good as it could be. Look at this. This looks almost identical to how it was yesterday when we ripped it apart. And right now, thanks to Tony Angelo, which I think the world of, and my new friends from Kenny's Auto, this car is gonna run again. This car will be fully functional, and then we're gonna load up all my junk and head to Indy tonight, where we have parts waiting for us tomorrow to hopefully put my engine back together.
Yeah.
So
This was just like a fun practice. Bring the car down, tear it apart, learn all about Hemis, decide to put it all back together. Now it's ready to run. So we're good.
We're studying. Yeah. This is the Cliff Notes right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're dialed.
I see one thing we screwed up before we started.
What's that?
The radiator is not in the mounts.
There it is.
Now we're good. Now start it.
Sweet. All right. It's gonna take a minute. There's no fuel in those carburetors. Let me give it a shot though.
Those air cleaners are probably flammable. There's a lot of gas soaked on those. Was it a... All right, hold on. Whoa, you're 180 out.
No.
Every episode of this show and every other show I work on. Let me just get that off there.
All right, try it.
All right.
Wait.
Wait.
Now try it. Yeah. Put the coil wire on, then try it. Yeah, it should be better. Should be more than that. Yeah, it's great. The idle is very high. It's idling like 2,500, but it runs, and I don't want to. It's awesome. I'd like to drive it, but I think we should hit the road before it gets too dark. You know, it's one last thing I want to break. One last thing I want to break, although I would like to drive this one day, David Freiberger, wherever you are. And let me get it behind the wheel, but not right now. Tow truck's here, and I want to get on the road.
Well, there you have it. It's back together. Needs a little tweaking here and there. We're gonna put the hood on it. It's gonna leave on a tow truck because it can't stay here because we're leaving from here. And,
but it's going to zip tie drags.
Yeah, Gage and Kenny are gonna take it back to their place, button up the last few things on it, and probably take a look at that oil pump pickup again because I'm pretty sure it's cracked. And we're out of here. We got a Hemi to rebuild.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Sweet.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate
Oh yeah,
you.
it's been a pleasure.
It was fun. It was miserable and fun.
There's nobody else I'd like to take a Hemi out of a car, look at it for a couple hours, and put it back in than you guys.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Our Tetris game was going really good. We got everything packed away, basically. We've got the supercharger strapped to the back of the passenger seat of the car. The headers are in the trunk. The drag week trailer is stuffed. We're gonna strap gas cans to the side of the ramp truck. Like, we had a plan to get out of here, you know, quick. And then we went to put the core support and the front clip on the car, which those all bolt onto the car simultaneously. Bolts are gone. No idea where they went, which, you gotta be honest, at this point in the game, the fact that we only lost those, it seems, is not that bad. So, camera crew was kind enough to go to the store to buy the bolts for us, but while they were there, we discovered the brakes leaking on the ramp truck all over the ground. And we've got some fittings and a proportioning valve on the front crossmember of the ramp truck, and it looks like a brake light switch, a pressure switch, is just junk, and it's leaking through the switch. And so, you know, even if we wanted to leave right now, we can't. So we need to fix the ramp truck so that we can get the car on it, so we can load the stuff, so that we can drive 5 hours to Indy, so we can stay in a hotel that, you know, we've already paid for, so we can get up in the morning and rebuild the Hemi. And I think it's like 10 o'clock, so everyone's dragging ass. I don't know how well this is gonna work out. Like, I don't know, we might have to stay here tonight or drive a little bit and stop somewhere. But, you know, we're gonna be okay. This is just, you know, real life here. You know, you're gonna tow an old car with an old truck. This is what happens. Our engine stand is looking less than optimal.
That is well weathered. Just like us.
That worked good. This has been an emotional roller coaster. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of people on the internet going, "You guys are idiots."
What were the highs so far? Because I might have missed most of those. So it's like a lot of work. We're just gonna start climbing. We're down here.
Oh, you think we're all the way at the bottom?
Well, we're pretty low.
Oh.
We're going click, click, click. I think
You made a gremlin run.
we made a gremlin run.
Yeah, we're
I
not
pulled the
down.
motor apart and it wasn't annihilated.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're on our way up.
Yeah, we're not down here anymore.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we were subterranean. We were 10th level of hell yesterday.
Yeah, we were Ninja Turtles yesterday.
I think it was hotter yesterday than it was today.
That's right.
No, I feel good. We got a chance, and that's all I want.
All right, let's not wear the same shirts in public though. After this,
It's like we're in the band wearing our own shirt to our own
like
concert.
At the concert
Yeah.
in the car.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not.
It escalated. All we were gonna do was drive to the hotel.
Got some fresh skin under there.
But that smells good too.
All right, now that I've blowtorched my arm, let's get out of here. Feels like the last thing we have to do here. I don't think it ever. The only thing that touched my arm was flame, dude.
The event is called